Hi, I'm Nai, I'm a presenter and you're watching Love for the Arts.
For the viewers who are watching this, tell them about yourself and what you currently do.
Okay, cool. So my name is Nai. I am a presenter, so I host the Monday morning show on Reprezent Radio. I do a lot of interviews, so I interview a lot of celebrities. I also host as well, so you may find me hosting events or hosting on the red carpet. I do a combination of stuff. I am an active TikToker as well, TikTok gang. And yeah, I just, anything where I'm on the camera talking and just being myself, that's where you'll find me.
Excellent. So, speaking of doing presenting, going to events and that stuff, could you tell us how the journey of presenting really started?
Yeah, so I kind of it was back when I was a teenager in Bristol, where I'm from, studying my A-levels, and I actually originally always wanted to be an actress. So I studied A-level drama, and then I was always liking just the kind of being on the camera and talking and things like that. But then I realized that I didn't like too much about the theatre side of things. But I still wanted to do something that would involve me, being on the camera and things like that. So I was thinking what else could I do? And then I realized that I have such a big passion for music. So I was like, oh, what about presenting? Especially radio presenting. So that was where I first started out. And then I volunteered on a couple of pirate stations in Bristol. And then I had my own show with a group of people. So that was a little volunteer show, a student show basically. And then I was just kind of really doing that. I wasn't really doing much back home, and then I made the decision to move to London in 2018 just because London had a lot more opportunity. There was actually a collective who actually reached out to me. They had a show already on Pulse, and they basically invited me, and then they asked me to come and be a part of it. So I was doing a lot of radio with them. And then I just branched off, did my own thing, and then I've just kind of been mostly making my own content, creating my own shows, creating my own interviews, and then about a year and a half ago, Reprezent reached out, and now I'm on Reprezent.
What was the obstacles for you to get started in terms of having to move from Bristol into London?
Good question. I feel I've come across so many obstacles. Luckily, when I moved here, I had family here, so I lived with my aunts for a bit whilst I was finding a job and then trying to obviously find a place to live and stuff. So I think I had some support, but it was kind of hard, obviously, trying to find somewhere to live and get a job because London is obviously so big and there's millions of people that live here. So the competition is high, but then I managed to find a job and I fell into a really good career in that sense as well, outside of presenting. In terms of my presenting obstacles, trying to create content that's going to stand out. Unfortunately, this industry is very numbers driven and it's very driven by the amount of followers you've got, the amount of views you get. So that is actually an ongoing obstacle that I feel I always face now, is trying to figure out ways to stand out and I guess break the mold in terms of views and build that following for me, I'm very big on my morals, so without having to do things that is going to go against what I believe in as a person. That's always the big one that kind of hangs over myself. Also, trying to get noticed is quite hard. That I didn't realize until I moved here how oversaturated presenting is. So many people do presenting. So even when I was trying to get a radio show, I was sending so many emails, so many radio demos, and I just was never getting responses because someone else was getting it, or someone else is like a bit better suited to them. So that has been one of the biggest obstacles as well. And also like overcoming imposter syndrome. There's been so many times in my career where I've just felt like I'm not good enough, that like no one likes what I do because the numbers aren't as high as I'd like them to be, and that's kind of been a bit demotivating. So it's trying to be able to kind of overcome that and not allow it to affect my self-esteem.
So when I looked at shows that you've recently been involved in, such as The Secret Crush and The Dating Pool,
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I was really happy for you.
Thank you.
It was really exciting to see you being part of the show. Talk to me how you got approached on being invited to the shows.
Yeah, sure. So a casting director from ITV reached out to me on Instagram. I was just like saying that they love what I do, they love my profile. Would I consider coming and being interested in the show? And I was like, yeah, because TV presenting is also something that I want to do. So any sort of TV gig that I get is just a blessing from God. And yeah, she kind of just, I went down, had like not an audition so to say, but like had like a Zoom meeting, had to like, because when they reach out to you, they ask you questions and they do like they film like a meeting, which they then use to pitch to the producers, and it's down to the producer of whether they like you or not as to if you're gonna get on the show or not. So yeah, they had a Zoom meeting and then they pitched it to the producers really liked it, and then I just filmed it and shot it, and the rest was history. And it's been literally one of the highlights of my career, like definitely to be like, to go home now and like go on ITV Hub and just know that I'm there. It's an incredible feeling, I can't lie.
What helps you to just keep consistent with your craft? That we see that you attended to MOBOs, you attended to Wireless, all these fantastic holiday we could say high holidays that they present in a way. Like, what? Talk to me about that.
I feel like consistency comes from prayer. Like I pray a lot, especially about my career. So God kind of just gives me ideas and then I execute them. Yeah, MOBOs was really good. It was literally a case of, that's another thing that's quite like hard to get into, and it's like trying to get into these events are quite hard because you have to like build a relationship with, you know, people that do all the like PR stuff. And again, that's so oversaturated. Like they only reserve certain spots for certain media publications. So, you know, there's always spots for like One Extra, Kiss, Capital, all the like national stations. They obviously get like first priority. So, and obviously Reprezent Radio is the biggest community station, but it's not a national station. So that is harder to get into, but it's just about being persistent. I just am very persistent with them. A lot of emails, and then you finally get so many people will say no, but then when you get the yes, it's a great feeling. Like last year when I went to the MOBOs, I didn't even go on like a press pass. I literally just got some free tickets from someone who I messaged, and we went there, and then like by the grace of God, one of the things I always say like is the secret to my success is God always puts me at the right places at the right time. And I literally was just there, was waiting in the hotel reception, and then everyone from the MOBOs who was like presenting awards, like Munya, all of these people were just in the reception. So I managed to get interviews with like Michael Dappah, Chunks, Tiwa Savage, Farron McKenzie, who's the head of One Extra. And that was just by being in the hotel lobby and my friend and using her phone as my camera. So I think as well as trying to be consistent, you just got to kind of make use of every opportunity that you get, that you can make content anywhere. And that's really kind of like my mantra. That's what I go by. I really want to do more TV stuff, but like more on the kind of presenting, hosting side. Eventually I want my own show on BBC One, Channel 4 or ITV, one of the biggest channels basically in the UK. I want my own show, like a bit like a talk show, like a bit like a Jonathan Ross, but incorporate like Mo Gilligan's show with Jonathan Ross, where it's like I'm interviewing but also doing like great games. I want to do more kind of things abroad as well. I'd like to do some work in America. I'd like to break out into America a bit more. Like I do see myself like presenting an award at like the MTV VMAs. Like I just want to go big, but then also like creating like creative workshops to help people as well, kind of who want to get into the creative field. I'd love to do like, one of the things I really like to do is like connecting people together. So I'd love to do something where, you know, I'm connecting like creatives, like connecting like, you know, videographers with presenters or DJs with musicians, and just building a network and a community where everyone can just connect and work and create excellence. Don't let the no's dishearten you. I think sometimes when you face a lot of rejection, it can make you question yourself and your ability and your talent. I would say don't be afraid to be persistent and put yourself in front of people. It's taken me quite a while to have the confidence to just like go up to people and speak to people or like ask to work with people. I've always had that, like, and where I come from, there's like that big stigma of not wanting to be a beg friend. So that's something I tell my younger self, because once I learned to like stop thinking like that is when I actually started to achieve like a lot of milestones in my career. I'd say not give up. This industry is really hard. There's been a lot of times where I've just wanted to quit because I feel like where it's so focused on followers and views, it's very disheartening. It kind of demotivates you, makes you like not want to do it anymore. But I'd say to myself, don't give up, because this is what you love and this is what God's got for you. This is God's plan for me. I would also say try and be ahead of the game. Like, don't sit down and wait for opportunities. If a door closes, you make your own opportunity. I feel like don't wait for anyone. Get up and do it yourself. My socials is Nice World on everything. So that's NYSWRLD. Yeah, literally you can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Insta. Yeah, those are the ones I actively use, I'd say.